In the name of Yeshua, the Black Revolutionary Messiah, we say all praises be to the Creator, all power to the people. This is Minister Paul Scott, Messianic Afrikan Nation, saying Shalom Aleichem to all my brothers and sisters out there. Today we're going to talk about a book I just finished reading called The Family, The Secret Fundamentalism at the Heart of American Power by Jeff Sharlet. Very interesting book, and I found the book extremely interesting because a lot of people try to talk about Christianity, the slave religion, but they never really studied the slave master's religion. I'm going to say that again. They talk about the slave or plantation religion, but they never really studied the slave religion. They can tell you all day long about, black preachers and the little old lady, Aunt Esther, with the pocketbook, going to church and how people who go to church are mentally dead Negroes. But they really can't tell you about Christian fundamentalism, or they won't tell you about Christian fundamentalism and how it has been used not only to manipulate African people in this country, but as part of the global New World Order. The global New World Order, they won't talk about that because I guess it's easier to pick it on Esther because those white fundamentalists, those TV evangelists who really wield all the power that you see on television 24 hours a day, I guess they fight back. So it's easy to pick on little black ladies with Bibles than to really go after the heart of white supremacy. But this book is real interesting because it goes into detail about the white Christian fundamentalists and how they really wield power globally. It goes into how, a lot of times we see things like the National Prayer Breakfast on television and we don't pay it no mind. Because we'll say, okay, it's just a bunch of people praying, no big deal. But it's real interesting stuff in that book. The founder of the family or the fellowship was a guy named Abraham Vereide. And his successor was a guy named Doug Coe. Now, one of the things that they did is they talked about how, in the book, Charlotte talked about how this group really functions as a secret society. They made it part of their mission to stay out of the public eye. They did not want that public attention. So that's why a lot of people don't know about it. And once again, those people, those conscious folks who do know about it, know the danger in speaking out against these people. So they try to divert your attention to picking on, little old ladies with Bibles when they wield no power. But these people have all the power. They made commitments and made connections with presidents. If you see almost every president for the last, I don't know how many years, according to the book, has gone to that National Prayer Breakfast, all of them. So they have a lot of power, and if we don't study the family or the fellowship, fundamental Christianity, we're either going to be used by them or we're going to be used by other people like the homosexual community or the Zionist community to fight against them. They're going to use us to fight against them and to take all the battle scars. So we really have to understand what these people are about. I found one thing very interesting extremely interesting, about their connection with the Black Power movement after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. Apparently, they formed their own Black Power buffer group called the Black Buffers. And according to the book, it was by a Reverend William Porter and a former professor of Kwame Ture, John Staggers. They put together a paramilitary security force called the Black Buffers, the fellowship's answer to Black Power. And according to the book, they even wore the shikis bought in bulk on Doug Cole's orders. But the African garb and their two-way radios were paid for by white businessmen, and Cole's counselors trained them to approach not black power, but black capitalism. They called us a spy group, remembered Reverend Porter. the first supervisor of the group, because we found out what was happening in terms of black militants and shut it down if it happened. Now, you mean all you conspiracy people, all you people who are always bashing the church, you never heard of this group in D.C. called the Black Buffers, who was created by these white fundamentalist Christians to shut down the Black Power movement? If so, why are you not talking about it? Why are you sending our people on this wild goose chase instead of fighting the real powers that be? So I urge everybody to read this book, The Family, The Secret Fundamentalism at the Heart of American Power by Jeff Charlotte, for a greater insight. And study Billy Graham. Study the 700 Club. Study how they really wield great political power, and they were able to shift policies or shape policies globally, even with African leaders, bringing them in as part of the family. So it's real interesting information. So, I mean, don't come to me just bashing this, bashing religion. If you can't give me a definition or a good explanation or a good rundown of Christian fundamentalism and how it functions on the global scale, all the other stuff can go walking. Minister Paul Scott, Messianic Afrikan Nation. Peace.